Hey, Jason Julius here, and in this video, I want to answer a question. That question is, how fast should I stimulate her when trying to bring her to orgasm? Now, this is a great question, and first we need to set our scene here a little bit. So let's say you've taken your time and you've built in some sexy context and foreplay to get her really turned on. Maybe you've kissed and licked and touched around her vulva, teasing her, and you built anticipation for when you're going to touch her most sensitive spots. Now let's say you want to stimulate her G-spot. Let's say she's on her back. You're going to enter her with one single finger with your palm facing up. Now you're not going to stick your finger in there and start pumping right away. You want to enter her with purpose and intention. So you enter her with one finger first and start massaging the side walls of her vagina to help these muscles deeply relax. To massage the back wall of her vagina, you want to pull your finger all the way out, turn your hand, and re-enter her. You don't want to spin your hand around while you're inside of her like this, because that can be really uncomfortable. Remember, we're trying to be mindful with how she's experiencing our touch. Now, when you re-enter her with your palm facing down, you can massage the back wall of her vagina where there's a ligament that, when massaged, will deeply relax the vaginal walls, making it easier for blood to flow and for her to deeply relax into the stimulation that's coming next. Now you pull all the way out of her again and turn your palm to face up, and this time you enter her with one or two fingers. You feel along the front wall, and by now she's deeply turned on, and so you begin to feel her G-spot starting to swell and become more pronounced. At this point, you start by slowly gliding your fingers across her G-spot in a come here motion. Now you want to start slow and gradually build up speed and pressure. The most important thing is watching how her body reacts to your touch. Is it too much? She might start squirming or tensing up. You want her to stay relaxed and present in her mind so that she can get to an orgasmic state where alpha brainwaves are flowing and she doesn't have the resistance of her thinking mind, which can really sabotage her orgasm. Okay, so you'll gradually build up to a moderate speed and a very firm pressure on the front wall, kind of something like this. But again, all women are different, so opt not to go too fast until you know that she's really into it. The key is once you hit a level where you know that she's responding well, you want to keep up that speed and pressure and keep it consistent. This is where a lot of guys get impatient and they think that they need to change it up. It's kind of like if she was giving you a hand job and she hit a rhythm and touch that feels amazing. Would you want her to go all over the place with the speed and change things up with her touch? Or would you want her to just keep it going until you come? I think that you get the idea. Now keep in mind, all of this is very similar when you're stimulating her A spot. You're just going to be going a little bit further back. And when you're stimulating her clitoris with your finger or your tongue, the same thing applies, where you start out slow and gradually work up to a rhythm that's working, and then you stay there to allow her to orgasm. Now there's more advanced techniques like the bullhorn, where you enter her like this with your middle fingers curled into her G-spot and your palm over her clitoris, where you rock her pelvis relatively quickly. This can be very intense, but for most techniques, you're going to stay with more of a steady rhythm that's firm and consistent until she lets go to orgasm. Now, depending on how orgasmic she is, it may take up to 20 minutes to stimulate her to orgasm. You don't want to go longer than 20 minutes to avoid her getting sore. Now, the biggest variable is her ability to surrender in her mind to get to an orgasmic state. The good thing is, once you've given her orgasms consistently, she'll be able to get to that state much quicker as time goes on. And eventually she'll be able to orgasm very quickly, and then you can stimulate her to 2, 3, 10 orgasms in a row within a relatively short amount of time. Okay, I hope that answers the question of how fast to stimulate her to orgasm. And I have an educational training over on my blog that shows you how to stimulate her G-spot to give her a squirting orgasm. So make sure that you check that out over at jasonjulius.com. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this. Hit that thumbs up because that really helps the channel. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you soon.